Hi, welcome to Bryant Systems. I'm Scott Bryant, Ask the Master. Thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe there. And what I just want to talk to you today about is about Danny Dyer. Now, Danny Dyer is a famous actor in the UK now. He's done a couple of movies. He's done a couple of documentaries on criminals and gangsters and stuff like that. And he done a big documentary on UFOs. I'm really into UFOs, so I suggest that you check it out. And Danny Dyer's talking about UFOs and how he believes in them, and I believe in them too. So good on you, Danny Dyer. So the other thing about Danny Dyer is that he just called David Cameron a twat. Now, twat means a woman's genital parts, and I thought it was really funny and really brilliant because, and the reason why I think it's really brilliant is because the people, not the politicians, not the Illuminati, not the people in power, but the people below the people in power, are now rebelling on the TV, on the radio, demonstrations and all like that, because the powers that be think that we can't say what we feel. And they think that they're so protected in their little glass houses that nobody's going to say anything and nobody's got an opinion. So David Cameron took us, or wanted a referendum on us coming out of the EU. And it all went tits up for him and he lost his job. Brilliant. He lost his job. Serves him right. So, but the only thing is that if you look at politics, you'll look at many of the politicians, when they fuck up and they waste us lots and lots of our taxpayers' money, they don't get fired, they get shifted around the Houses of Parliament so they can keep their jobs. So he's had to leave because he was Prime Minister. But when he was Prime Minister, he made mistake after mistake after mistake, okay? And the same with the Conservatives. They've made mistake after mistake after mistake. So will Labour do the same thing? They don't seem to know, any of them know what they're supposed to be doing for the people that vote them in. So what I mean by that is that you see the shops closing everywhere. So the shops are closing everywhere. Why don't they just lower the amount of business rates and business tax that a business has to pay, so they can keep their profits high, so they can keep the shop open? It's logical to normal people, but to a politician, it's not. The politicians seem to be blocked because they get their £88,000 a year. They think that they're way above us and they think that they've got more knowledge than us so they can make better decisions. But they're not. They're fucking up the country even more. So now the EU stuff has been going on for about 3 years. It still isn't totally solved. You see in the media constantly that this is happening, that's not happening, this is happening, that's not happening. So I don't even entertain it anymore. As long as I've got clients and I'm working and I'm helping my clients to get healthy, strong, fit and out of pain, I'm very happy. But obviously there's lots of businesses, it will maybe hit my business later on once it all goes through. But really, in my opinion, Theresa May, she lost all the documents to all the paedophiles. Should she still be Prime Minister? No, she shouldn't. David Cameron, they found out about him shagging a pig, when he was in his younger days. Should he be a politician? No, he shouldn't, in my opinion. I think that, does the Queen really read the papers? Does the Queen really research these politicians before they're appointed or before they become lords or ladies? Is it just something because of the family or because of their upbringing that they automatically get that entitlement to become a politician or to become somebody that can change laws and make big differences in people's lives? Please subscribe if you like what I'm saying. So I believe that politicians, I've said this many, many times, are legalised gangsters. And you may say, Scott, that's a bit strong, but if a politician like Ian Duncan Smith can bring in the new benefit system that now they've said so many years on, it's not going to increase any profits, it's not going to have any benefit, it's made people's lives 500 times worse. Why did they do it in the first place? And why did they waste millions of pounds. But this guy is still in Parliament. Why is he still in Parliament when he probably wasted a couple of billion of taxpayers' money, which they could put into the health service or put it into services that people really need for the disabled, for the homeless, for the elderly, for the poor, for the people that really need help? It doesn't make sense to me that a politician can fuck up in their job and not get fired. So recently there was another politician, you may have seen it in the news, his mobile phone goes off because he's got Siri's on his phone. Now he should be reprimanded for that and fired and sacked. The same as when they jeer and argue in the Houses of Commons. They've spoke about this before when David Cameron was Prime Minister. It ain't fucking changed. It's the same. So it seems to me that every time a politician fucks up, they get away with it. They don't get fired. They may get kicked out of the next general election when we have to vote for certain politicians, but they don't get reprimanded for wasting all that money. It's our money, not their money. It's our money that they're wasting, spending it on stupid stuff. The same as, do we need Trident? If we got rid of Trident, we'd have huge amounts of money. The military is now the smallest it's ever been. We've never had a world war for so many hundreds of years now. So why do we need the military? In my opinion, get rid of the military or have a really thinned out military, put more money into the police, because the streets are now more violent than ever before. But the politicians don't care because they live in their gated communities. The same as with all these people coming into the country. I'm not against that in some respects because I believe that we're all human beings. And if you're trying to escape a war-torn country, and this isn't a war-torn country, then it'll be great for us to help you. But if you don't abide by our laws and you're a criminal and you start murdering people or doing bad things, you should be sent the fuck back and not be given any help because you're not obviously appreciating the help that we're giving you. So my opinion is that, you know, politicians are legalised gangsters. It's good that that David Cameron and I can't think of his name, Danny Dyer, has said on public TV that he was a twat, which means a vagina, to do what he did and to just leave and to not face the music. The same with the other person that didn't face the music really was Tony Blair. Caused the Iraq War, caused hundreds of thousands of deaths, still walking around, still buying properties, still one of the richest men in the UK, taking the piss out of the system, can do whatever he bloody wants, but he's got to have, 24-hour security or police around him, which we're paying for. Can you believe that? So he knows that people hate him because of, their families have died, their sons and daughters have died in Iraq, and people want to get their own back, which I don't agree with that neither. But really, he should be in prison. They said that he was totally wrong. But he's still got loads of properties all over London. He's a property mogul, got all this money, trying to get back into politics, taking the piss out of all of us. So I feel the politician system needs to change. We need more people in politics that come from the poorer side of life, or they change it that a politician needs to go and sign on so they know what it feels like. A politician needs to feel what it's like to be homeless. A politician needs to feel like how bad life can get when you can't get any money because you've lost your job that you've had for 20, 30 years, and it's not your fault. The politicians need to feel these feelings of what human beings have to go through. Politicians, when they mess up, they need to be either fired or they need to take a pay cut for making that mistake. If I'm not allowed to make mistakes in my business, politicians shouldn't be allowed to make mistakes. The politicians are constantly on the TV. We're paying for that. For me to get on the TV would probably cost me 10, 15 grand to get a 15, 10-minute slot. But for a politician to do it, it's all free. So they get all this free publicity, constantly lying to all of us and making huge mistakes and costing us huge amounts of money and getting away with it. This, in my opinion, is totally wrong, and it's time for change. And I can see in the media, slowly but surely, people are starting to rise up and go, enough is enough. British people, whatever nationality you are, you're British, are starting to stand up and take a stand. But it looks like the country's crumbling so fast, and the damage that the politicians are doing may be irreversible. I don't know. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's going to change. It's going to be called the Ask the Master when it comes to health, fitness, diet, lifestyle. Thank you very much for watching my YouTube channel all the way to the end. Please comment at the bottom and tell me whether you think politicians are legalised gangsters which are just getting away with everything. Okay, thanks very much. Bye-bye.